Hello and welcome to Bedroom Studio Corner. I am XD and welcome to this brand new video. I hope you guys are enjoying the daily videos. Now before we go anywhere, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and join us. In order to run FL Studio in the best optimal way is to make sure that you have a nicely built computer with a decent amount of RAM and a decent enough CPU that's powerful enough to run all the plugins that you will ever need. But this is a problem when you're a beginner because most beginners don't understand that the RAM and the CPU in a PC play such a big role in the running of FL Studio. Now some people don't even know what CPU and RAM is in a computer, and that now is a whole other thing. You can check here on YouTube what a CPU and what RAM is so that you can know what they are. I'm not going to go over that right now, but what I want us to do today in this video is to figure out what do you need the most between RAM and CPU in order to run FL Studio perfectly. Now we're just going to do a few tests and see what's going to be affected more, either the RAM or the CPU, by the plugins that I'm going to be loading. So we figure out if you want to upgrade, we need to know whether you get more RAM or you get more CPU. Now my computer has a decent amount of RAM. I've got like 6 gigs of RAM and I have an i5 CPU. So I'm going to be loading in stuff on my mixer and in the channel rack just to see what is going to be affected more, either the CPU or the RAM. Now first we're going to start with the channel rack. So let me know in the comments what plugin that you put on and then your computer just starts, going on the fritz. Now for me, I have one VST that I use that I know as soon as I put like 2 or 3 of them, my RAM starts to go. So it's either Element or Codex from Waves. I love Waves plugins. They're very heavy, but they are very good and they have nice visuals as well. So I'm going to load a Codex here and then just keep an eye on this section over here up here where my RAM is and my CPU. It takes a while to load because it's kind of a heavy one, but there we go. Now you can see it's already over 400 megabytes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clone this. Now let's see how far the RAM goes. Now it's on over 700. Now let's clone again. The CPU is not changing, but the RAM keeps going. So now let's see if we can max it out up until a point where this meter over here is all the way up there. As you can see, it keeps going. As the more you put, the more it keeps going. So it actually shows that my RAM is actually gonna run out at some point if I keep adding on this codex. Now the point of adding just this codex works in a way that I feel that it's fair, because imagine you are a fan of codex and that's got all the sounds you need. It's got all the bass, it's got all the strings and all the synth sounds that you need, and you're only using codex. Now in order to make a tracks, you can have so many instances of plugins running at the same time. You know what I mean? Like maybe 10 plugins that will be running at the same time. So let's see if we can put like 10 of them. There we go. Now we have 10 of this codex and you can see my RAM is like 2,900 megabytes of RAM already gone. So that's like 2.9 gigs. That's almost 3 gigs. So okay, let's just clone again. And already on my task manager, if I can just bring it in, there we go. Now if you look at my task manager, you can check my memory. It went all the way from down here to up here. So it's saying it's using 4.2 gigs of my memory, and I only have 5 gigs that I can use, that is available to use, in my PC. So I only have 5 gigs available to use because the other gig to make 6 is being used by the system, by Windows itself. So I've already maxed out my RAM already, but look at my CPU. My CPU is on 69, less than 70%. Working less than 70%. So this indicates that I actually need more RAM than CPU, because my CPU is pretty fine. All my cores are kind of up and they're being used. It's not like it's just using one core. And if you want to know more about CPU cores, you can just also Google here on YouTube. They will explain to you what CPU cores are and all that. I'm not going to go through that in this video. So now we can see that plugins need more RAM no matter what CPU you have. Well, it depends, because some CPUs are like really weak if you're like using the old versions of CPUs. So for this instance, with the i5 that I'm having, it's performing very well, but it's my RAM that I need to upgrade. Keep in mind I have 6 gigs of RAM. So if you have less than 6 gigs of RAM on your computer, this would have been, your computer would have been lights out ages ago, maybe by the 5th codecs. Okay, so let me just reset and go to the mixer, and let's add some effects. Let's add a decent one, like a really nice one. I'll add Ozone 8. Everybody knows isotope plugins and Ozone. Ozone is very good for mastering, and I think I might actually do a tutorial on using Ozone in mastering in the future. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a tutorial on Ozone in the future on this channel. And if you use Ozone, leave a like. Let me see if you like it. Okay, so I have Ozone here. I'll just go into all-purpose mastering, and I'll just add maybe a CD master, just a preset, just to make sure it's, you know, it's got some modules loaded there. I'm just gonna push it up. Just gonna push it up here and make sure it's on number 1. Now I'm gonna start cloning. Now just keep an eye on our RAM meter up here. Already it's on 727. There we go. Now it's almost at the end. Let me add a last one, because I think then it's maxed out. I mean, I'm just loading these effects because you would use multiple amounts of Ozone in your track. It's not that it's not practical. You can, because if you look at a plugin like Ozone, it works for single tracks. Like let's say for mixing bass, you can use it for synths, you can use it for like a kick drum or a snare. Like the one plugin, all of it, you can use it for that. If you go into the presets here, you can see that it also has instruments and buses. You can use it on a guitar, you can use it in a drum bus, you can use it in a lot of things. So you can actually mix a whole song using just this Ozone. So that's where it makes sense to see if you can use just Ozone, like a lot of amounts of Ozone and instances of Ozone in one track, and see if, you know, your PC is going to survive that. Now look at mine, it's already maxed out. So I think this goes without saying that, you know, you need to have a powerful computer in order to run FL Studio in the best way possible. If you're going to be using heavy plugins, you're going to need to have a very powerful computer. A lot of people are always looking for plugins and looking for links. I get a lot of, you know, people messaging me, bro, what is the best mixing plugin? What is the best plugin for mastering and all that? There is a lot of plugins you can use, and there's a lot of plugins that are very heavy, especially the good ones like Ozone and the Waves bundle. So these need you to have a very powerful computer. So before you purchase any of these plugins, you need to know your standing. You need to figure out where you are, you know, power wise with your PC, you know, with your computer, so that you know you can actually run these perfectly. Now, a test I've been doing through the years, trying to check how good my computer is whenever I upgraded or I bought a new computer, was I would go to the demo project and I would load like a demo song, especially the ones by Seamless are over here. You can check out Seamless here on YouTube. He's like a FL Studio guru. I've been following him for a long time, ever since, you know, they put the songs there on FL Studio. But you can check him out as well. He has massive projects. If you open any one of his projects, you will see that they're heavy and they're full of automation. These guys are like the kings, you know, they are gods of FL Studio, you know. So if you open one of his tracks and you play it through to the end without any clicking or popping in your sound or nothing, it plays smoothly like a normal song, then you know that you have a powerful computer. If not, then you know you need to upgrade. That's how you can tell. So instead of, you know, trying to crack your brain thinking, okay, what do I need? Do I need more RAM? Do I need more CPU? And do I need to upgrade or not? You can just do this test. I promise you it will work. So every time I had a new computer, I would load up a Seamless R project, load it up, and then play it all through. If it gets to a certain point of the song, especially when he does his dubstep drops, that's when all hell breaks loose. That's when it's the heaviest, because there's a lot of automation, a lot of things going on there. So just do this test to see whether you need to upgrade or not. But I would recommend that you get a decent CPU first, like a decent computer with a good CPU, like an i3, an i5, or an i7 if you can, even if it has the smallest amount of RAM, maybe even a 1 gig or a 2 gig chip of RAM But now you know that you can upgrade with time. But as long as you have your baseline, your good CPU, then you can upgrade. It's pointless for you to get a computer with a lot of RAM, maybe let's say 24 gigs of RAM, but your CPU is like a Core 2 Duo. That is not going to help you because you cannot expand that processor that you have on your computer. So I hope this tip helps you to know what you need to do in order to get FL Studio to work for you if you're going to be looking to upgrade and if you're going to be looking to use these powerful plugins as well. So that's the video I have for you guys. I hope this helps you know what you want to upgrade if you're going to upgrade your computer to run FL Studio perfectly. As always, subscribe if you're new, leave a like if you like this video. I appreciate the support you guys give to this channel. I'm gonna see you in another video. I'm X and I'm out. Peace.